My name's David, I'm 29 years old, an accountant living in Seattle. And I've never been the kind of person who enjoyed online dating. After my last relationship ended in late 2023, I swore off it completely. But loneliness has a way of sneaking up on you. By February, I found myself staring at the yellow and white logo of Bumble on my phone. I told myself it was just curiosity. I wasn't desperate, just browsing. For the first week, it was all the same selfies in bathroom mirrors, awkward bios, bad attempts at humor. Nothing stood out. Until one Thursday evening when Emma's profile appeared. She had green eyes that almost seemed to glow, a small knowing smile, and in her hands was a vintage film camera. The photo was taken at Pike Place Market. But it wasn't her smile or her camera that froze me. It was her bio. Short. Almost too short. Photographer. Cat person. Afraid of parking garages, don't ask. That line hit me like a punch. Since childhood, I've had the exact same irrational fear. I never told anyone outside of close friends because it always sounded so stupid. It felt like a sign. I swiped right. Seconds later, it's a match. Her first message came instantly. You love bookstores, right? Have you been to that little used shop on Capitol Hill? The one wedged between the vintage clothing store and the ramen place. She meant Megas books. Barely visible from the street, hidden in plain sight. I only stumbled into it 3 months ago, and I never mentioned it online. That coincidence alone should have unsettled me. Instead, I smiled. Maybe this was fate. Over the next few days, I noticed more. Too many more. She mentioned a Thai restaurant I tried for the very first time the night before. She asked if I still jogged along Green Lake, something I'd only recently started. She recommended a band I'd been listening to on repeat in my apartment, one so obscure I doubted even 1,000 people knew them. At first I laughed it off. Why, what are the odds? But the odds started to feel impossible. By Friday, Emma suggested meeting up. How about Victrola coffee on Sunday morning? I'll be in a burgundy scarf. Victrola wasn't just a random cafe. It was my Sunday ritual. I never posted about it, never told her. I brushed it off as another crazy coincidence. Maybe she was just like me. Maybe I'd finally met my mirror. Sunday morning, 11 a.m. sharp. I grabbed my favorite gray Henley and sat at a window table. My heart raced every time the door opened. But no one in a burgundy scarf walked in. At 11:20, my phone buzzed. I can see you. You look nervous. My eyes darted around the cafe. People sipping coffee. Couples talking. No one looking at me. Another bus. That gray Henley, you're wearing the one with the little stain near the left pocket. I looked down. My stomach dropped. A faint brown speck. A coffee stain I hadn't even noticed. My hand shook as I stood up. Something felt very, very wrong. Then came one last text. Check your photos, David. My thumb hovered over the gallery app. I didn't want to look, but I had to. At the top was a brand new photo. It was me, sitting at the cafe table. My head tilted down toward my phone. The picture had been taken from directly behind me. I whipped around. No one was there. I deleted Bumble that afternoon. But in the week since, I've seen them. Not often. Just in the corner of my vision. Burgundy scarves. Slipping behind corners. Crossing streets. Always gone when I turned to look. And now I can't tell what's worse. The idea that Emma was never real. Or the idea that she still is. My name's Michael, I'm 31, a high school history teacher in Denver. And until a year ago, I was married. The divorce was brutal afterward. I swore off dating completely. I figured I'd focus on work on my students, on getting through each day. But loneliness doesn't care about your plans. It was my sister who finally convinced me to try Hinge. I hated the idea, but after weeks of her nagging, I gave in. That's when I met Rachel. Her profile was normal. Refreshingly normal. A nurse smiling in casual photos. No exaggerated bios, no strange poses. She seemed grounded. We matched. We started talking. And within a week, I felt a flicker of something I hadn't felt in years. Hope. We messaged for hours every night. She asked about my students, my hobbies, my family. It all felt so natural, so easy. By the third week, we agreed to meet in person. Dinner at Root Down, Friday, 7 p.m. That night, I arrived early. I sat near the window, nerves buzzing, watching every person who walked in. 7 o'clock came and went. No Rachel. By 7:30, I was debating leaving. That's when the hostess walked over. "Sir, there's a woman at the bar who says she's waiting for you." Relieved, I stood. But the second I saw her, my stomach tightened. It wasn't Rachel. She was older, her features sharper, hair a different color, eyes the wrong shade. Nothing about her matched the pictures I've been looking at for weeks. But she smiled like we were old friends. "Michael, sorry I'm late." I froze, struggling for words. That's when she pulled out her phone. "See? Look our messages." And there they were. Every single text I'd exchanged with Rachel. Word for word. I felt my skin crawl. Something was wrong. Because the phone she was holding, the case was cracked across the left side. A crack I recognized instantly. It was the same phone case my ex-wife used to have. My voice shook. "Where did you get that phone?" She hesitated, then smiled even wider. "I bought it used." My pulse spiked. I turned toward the door. I needed to leave. That's when she called after me. "Tell Jennifer I said hello." I froze mid-step. Jennifer. My ex-wife's name. A name I had never once mentioned to Rachel. That night, my hands trembling, I called Jennifer. "Michael, my phone was stolen 2 weeks ago," she said, "but there's something worse. I never told anyone we used to be married." Which means the woman at the bar didn't just know me. She knew us. And to this day, I don't know who she was, or why she wanted me to know that she was watching. My name's Alex, I'm 27, a software developer living in Austin. Like a lot of people my age, dating apps were just part of the background. I've been on Tinder for about 6 months. It was casual, swipe here, swipe there, sometimes chat. Usually nothing came of it. Until one night, I got a message that made my stomach twist. It was from someone called Austin_Alex27. The message just said, "We need to talk. Look at this profile." Attached with a screenshot. And it stopped me cold. It was my face, my photos, my name, my bio. But I hadn't created that account. Someone was pretending to be me. At first, I thought it was some dumb glitch. Maybe an old profile I'd forgotten about. But then the messages started rolling in. "Why did you ghost me? Thanks for wasting my time. You're a creep." Hundreds of angry, bitter texts from people I had never even spoken to. That's when I realized someone wasn't just using my photos. They were actively talking to people as me, and not kindly. That night, Austin_Alex27 messaged again. His real name was Jake. He sent me his photo, and just like me, his profile had been cloned. Same setup, same photos, same bio, same city. We weren't alone. Jake told me he'd been trying to track the person behind it. But whoever it was, they were good, too good. They had multiple fake accounts going at once. We decided to set a trap. We created a fake female profile, a completely fabricated person. We made her profile just convincing enough to lure him in. And within 2 days, it worked. The impersonator asked her out at drink Friday, 8 p.m., Whistler's Bar. Jake and I agreed we'd go together. That Friday, I was on edge the entire day. When 8 p.m. came, Jake and I stood across the street from Whistler's, scanning the crowd. At 8:15, we saw him. And my chest went tight. He wasn't just dressed like me. He was dressed as me. The same gray hoodie from one of my Tinder photos. The same jeans. The same watch with a faint scratch across the band. Even the shoes. My old scuffed sneakers. It was like watching my reflection step out of a photograph and into the street. Jake swore under his breath. That's literally you." I wanted to confront him, but fear kept me frozen. My hands were clammy, my knees weak. I just watched him walk casually into Whistler's like he owned the place. We called the police. 3 weeks later, they caught him. His name was Marcus Chin, and when police raided his apartment, what they found was worse than anything Jake or I had imagined. On his computer were detailed files on dozens of men across the city, secret photos, screenshots, notes on where they lived, where they worked, where they liked to hang out. He wasn't just stealing photos. He was studying people. There were over 40 fake dating profiles, all carefully managed, all designed to lure people in. When asked why, Marcus just smiled and called it a social experiment. The judge gave him 2 years in prison. For a while, I felt relief like it was finally over. But even now, sometimes I'll be walking downtown and I'll see someone in the crowd. Same height, same hair, same walk. Sometimes I'll catch a glimpse of my own outfit on a stranger. And more than once I've gotten Tinder notifications matches with people I've never swiped on, conversations I've never had, profiles I didn't make. So now I don't wonder if Marcus is really in prison. I wonder if he was just the beginning. And if someone else out there is wearing my face right now. And maybe yours next.